Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, welcome to TJK Network. My name is Tar Kasperzak, and today we are covering the first round of the Morris County Tournament, featuring your Pequannock Panthers versus the Morristown Colonials. And Pequannock coming off a 7-0 victory in the preliminary round against Dover. And now they will face Morristown in the first round. It's going to be a great matchup as Pequannock still undefeated, 12-0-0 with 10 shutouts, I believe, if I'm correct. And Morristown with also a pretty good record of 8-3-2. It is going to be a great matchup. Before we start, let's go over our starting goalkeeper for the Panthers. And that is number 0, Zoe Wisner. Record of 12-0-0, 10 shutouts. Total of 58 saves with a 4.83 save average. And here is our current bracket we are looking at. Pequannock coming off the win. That game was on TJK Network 2 because I had to cover football that day. But that was the preliminary round because not all teams have to play it. A lot of the higher seeds automatically get put in the first round waiting for their potential matchup. Kind of like a wild card round if you want to say that. Pequannock is the 8th seed. Dover was seed number 25. And Morristown beat Butler, the 24th seed, and Morristown being a 9th seed, they beat them 3-0. And that's what will result in this matchup. Pequannock, of course, being home. Of course, that's why I'm here covering it. Of course, us being the 8th seed and Morristown being the 9th seed. And here we go, getting ready for a good matchup. Two very good teams. And we'll be with you momentarily. Also, starting goalkeeper for Morristown is number 0, Adolina Galia. Here we go, getting ready for the kickoff. And here we go. Ball makes its way all the way into the Colonial zone, and Galia to grab that ball right away. And she will kick it to center. Ball makes its way toward the sideline and out. Pequannock's ball, as they'll bring it back into play, and it'll be immediately kicked back out. Go off the head while being re-entered with Riley Chomko on it. And it's kicked out again. And the ref points towards the direction of Morristown as they'll get their chance. to try to rush in with the ball. And ball at center right now. Alexandra Ortega to take it. And a little pass from Katrina McMahon. Back to Ortega. Ortega brings it to Caitlin Ziegler, battling with the defense. Ball was picked off and taken back, and Pequannock retreats back to center. Emily Ziegler trying to reach up to that ball, battling with the Ferrari. The Ferrari brings it back to center. And that ball is picked off by Ortega. And Samantha Cunha kicks it to center. At center still. Morristown's able to get that ball. And they will kick it out of bounds. Currently at center, it's out of bounds. Morristown brings it back into play. Goes off the back of Addie Van Litten's head and out of bounds. Ball brought back into play, will go off high. Rushing to that ball was number 15, Carr, as that ball is taken to center. McDonald is able to keep it in play for Morristown as that ball goes high and out of the turf field. Over the fence it went. Went into the senior parking lot. As that ball goes out of bounds again. Brought back into play and out of bounds again. Morristown having a tough time. Get the ball back in play. Ball brought up high. And Pequannock now with the ball. At center, trying to enter in. Caitlin Ziegler. As it went out of bounds again. And to bring it back in, Samantha Cunha. Brought back in. Shayla Osmansky. Try to get it. She falls down and the ball is taken. Morristown keeping up with the defense here. And that ball picked off as it went out of bounds. Brought up high and out to center. Van Letten with it. Ball's out again. Morristown to bring it back into play. Ball brought up high. Currently, who rushed for it was Caitlin Ziegler, but that ball's taken. Addie Van Letten once again to kick it back at center. Will go up high. Morristown trying to get some offense going. It'll go off the head of, I believe that was Ortega. Brought up high. And it'll make its way across the field. And that ball's kicked out of bounds. Pequannock with the ball as Morristown was the one to kick that one out of bounds. Katrina McMahon to bring it back in. Alexandra Ortega battling for it. Ortega battling against two. She'll try to pass it to Caitlin Ziegler. That's picked off. But the ball makes its way out of bounds, so the Panthers continue with the possession. Katrina McMahon to bring it back in again. Ortega brings it to the corner. And it will trickle its way out of bounds. And the goalkeeper of Morristown, Adelina Galea, to kick it. And she will kick it to center. It will go off the chest of Van Letten, as she'll kick it in high. Riley Chomko gets hit by Galea while trying to rush for the ball. Galea was able to grab that ball too on that play. She'll kick it to center. And Morristown kicks it in to Pequannock zone, but it goes out of bounds. Katrina McMahon to bring it back in. She'll try to give it to Rachel Cunningham, but it's taken by Carr. At center, Larada. Now Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gives it to Fisher. And a pass in. And it's going to make its way wide of the net. And Addie Van Letten will kick it for the Panthers. Kicked up high to center, and then it goes out of bounds. Panthers getting the possession. Samantha Cunha to bring it back in. And we'll go out of bounds once again. Panthers maintain the possession. Cunha to bring it back in. Ball in Morristown zone. They'll kick it out of bounds again. Samantha Cunha brings it back into play. Panthers not able to capitalize with the full possession as Morristown kicks it out, but it goes off of Van Letten's head to keep it in the zone. Ortega bowing around. Ortega goes to the side. Ortega still with it. And that ball is taken out of bounds from the defense of Morristown. And we'll have a new sub in as Riley Chomko will come off the field for Riley DeCumbered. Ball brought back in. And it's taken by LeFerrari. Now at center was Fisher. And it's taken by Rachel Cunningham. Brought back in. Morristown with it though. They'll bring it back to Galea. At center. Currently, LeFerrari bringing it in. She makes her way towards the front of the net. Addie Van Letten on the defense in front of her to keep her from getting a shot as it will go out of bounds. Ball brought back into play. Carr. Now to Fisher. And that ball makes its way towards the net with Zoe Wisner holding on. Brought up high. Shayla Osmansky tried to get it. And Fitzgerald, I believe, number 20, kicked that one out of bounds for Morristown. And Panthers get the possession again. Brought back into play by Cunha as it goes out of bounds again. This time it is Morristown's possession. They will throw it in and it will go back out of bounds. Panthers regain it. Thank you guys for watching the 2023 Morris County Tournament on TJK Network. Delivering best coverage we can for Pequannock sports. Brought back into play. And it'll go off ahead and make its way to Riley DeCumber. She'll pass it on. Ball is currently in Panthers zone. And there was a kick that was blocked. And that ball makes its way to center and out of bounds again. Brought back into play. And out again. Currently, Morristown looking for a way to get themselves going. Panthers defending as hard as they can, known for their very strong defense and goalkeeping. Katrina McMahon, the one bringing it back in for the Panthers. About the center. Kicked up and high. It'll make its way over. Riley DeCumber not able to get to it in time. McDonald kicks it out of bounds for Morristown. Brought back into play. And out again. Brought back into play. And up high. And Galea to run out of her net to catch the ball and hold on to it. Kicked up high from Galea to center. Off the head of Van Letten. And the ball makes its way out again. Inside the Panthers' half of the field. Brought back into play. Panthers are the ones with the possession. It's out again. 26:30 remaining in our first half. Brought back into play. Cunha gets it to center. Riley DeCumber elevates that more. Ball is in the zone for Morristown. They'll take it back to Galea as she'll kick it out to center for Morristown. At center is Blakely with it. Battling one-on-one with Fisher as it goes out of bounds again. This ball will be Morristown's as Carr throws it back in. Ball went out of bounds again. Carr will throw it back in the zone again with the ball. Currently, battling one-on-one was Fisher, as she was pressured by Pequannock's defense. Went to center as Pohan tried to kick it back in, and it went out of bounds. Looks like she kind of messed up on it. Katrina McMahon to bring it back in for the Panthers. Victoria Locke. Now to Osmanski. Ball makes its way out of bounds again. And goalkeeper Adelina Galea to kick it. Galea kicks it to center. She'll get it to, I believe that was number 5, Bedoya. Ball will retreat its way back to Galea. She'll grab onto it. Galea brings it up high. Ball will bounce through center and enter Pequannock's zone. Battle in 4 is Blakely, as currently LaFerrari is with the possession in the corner of the Panthers zone. Ball will make its way just to the side of Zoe Wisner, and it'll be kicked up and high out of bounds. Ball will be thrown back into play. Kicked up high. Off the knee, Zoe Wisner jumps to make that save and hold on to it. Zoe Wisner kicks it out to center. Alexandra Ortega trying to rush to that. She'll get to it. Rachel Cunningham with it now. Rachel Cunningham running in from the side. Ball still in bounds. Ortega brings it up high in front of the net. Riley DeCumber with no room as she's pressured by the defense of Morristown. Galea to kick it for Morristown, and it'll go out of bounds. Brought back into play. Brought up high as it goes off the head, and out of bounds again. Ball makes its way out of bounds again. Ball brought back into play again. Goes out again. Panthers are the ones with it. Cunha brings it in. It's brought up high. It'll go off ahead, but no one there up front for the Panthers. Emily Ziegler tries to battle for it. She will get tripped on that play by LaFerrari. It's the Panthers with the ball. Addie Van Letten going to be doing the kick for the Panthers. Here's the kick. Up high. It's stopped by Galea. She'll hold on. And she'll kick it up high. At center, will go bounce off the turf and go off ahead. Ball still at center with Riley DeCumber. Up high, it will go off ahead, and Emily Ziegler tries to keep it in. Ball makes its way to Samantha Cunha. Riley DeCumber on the sideline. Ball's taken by Fisher. She'll bring it in. It's picked off by Rachel Cunningham. Ball inside the Panthers zone. We've also surpassed halfway into our first half. Less than 20 minutes remaining. Great defensive play by the great defensive play by the Panthers. So get it out. Still a lot of offensive pressure from Morristown. At center. Emily Ziegler with it. She will bring it in. Ball makes its way out. And Panthers with the corner kick. Shayla Osmanski to kick for it. Here's the kick from Osmanski. It makes its way to the front of the net. And Morristown's able to steer it away from the net, but not fully out of their zone. Ortega still battling for it as she falls down. Ball at center with Larada on it. Taken back by the Panthers, they'll bring it back in. Ortega. Ziegler will try to pass it to Ortega. But that ball is taken back by Morristown, and the Panthers will get it back eventually. And they will take it to center. Samantha Cunha try to rush to that at center. So Wisner will rush to that ball and will hold on to it. Kicked up high by Wisner. And Morristown brings it more towards Panthers zone, but Emily Ziegler able to keep the play going. Ball went out of bounds. Ortega to bring it back in. Victoria Locke. At center. Currently with it, Fisher. She will pass it on to number 24, Alexander. And a kick from Van Letten will hit one of the Morristown players. Ball brought back in. Battle for at center. It's currently in the hands of Liferieri. She'll pass it to Larada. Larada with it as the ball makes its way in. Larada. Rush it from the side. Larada takes it up front. It will go off the head. Make its way to Zoe Wisner. She is able to make that save. Ball nearly slipped out of her hands, but she was able to maintain. And this game remains 0-0. Up high. Goes off of Ortega's head. And Larada to bring it back to Pohan. And we'll go off a couple heads and end up with Victoria Locke. Ortega not able to catch up to that as Pohan was there, and also Galia rushed out to grab the loose ball as she'll kick it up high at center. Van Letten kicks it into the offensive side for the Panthers. Van Letten keeps it in as ball will go up high again. Larada tries to get to it, but the ball makes its way anyways to Morristown. Larada kicks it out of bounds. Emily Ziegler to toss that ball back into play. Ortega tries to battle for it. Ball goes out the field toward the stands, nearly into our broadcasting booth. Ball makes its way back in. Currently with it. Carr. Battling from the sides. She will fall down on that play. Emily Ziegler to bring it in. Panthers still with the possession as it went out again. Emily Ziegler brings it back in. Ball up high. Off of Ortega. Ball makes its way up high. And it will go behind the net. Galea. Currently with the ball, she'll set up to kick it to center. And Galea kicks that ball towards center. It'll go off the head of Blakely and make its way to Larada for Morristown. Pequannock's defense pressure in. Emily Ziegler tries to get it, and that ball's passed to Murtha. Murtha, and as it makes its way to Lifrieri. Coming with it, Carr. And currently Lifrieri back with it again. And now Fitzgerald. Great block by the Panthers to keep it from going in. Ball makes its way up high. At center, Ortega is able to kick it up high in the back direction, keep it from going out. Ball goes off of Blakely's head a bit. Van Letten launches that high. Ball stays in play from Riley Chomko on the end, but a battle will result in going to Morristown, it seems. And there's a battle at the sideline. Victoria Locke tries to get it. She's unable to. Ball makes its way towards the net, and Zoe Wisner will run out of the net and will hold on to that ball. Wisner kicks that out. It'll bounce and go off ahead. Riley Chomko gets hit by Alexander. Ball made its way out of bounds again. Morristown to bring it back in. At center, Emily Ziegler will make her way to that. Currently on it, Shayla Osmansky. Ball's picked off. Currently with it, Fitzgerald for Morristown. Morristown maintaining the possession still. Coming with it, Murtha. Ball makes its way to the Panthers' zone. Katrina McMahon try to steer it away from the side as it will go out of bounds. Brought back into play. And out again. Ball will make its way over the fence into the stands. Brought back into play, currently with it. This is Porn. Who was the one that brought that back in. At the end was Cunha. Tried to battle for it. The ball, I believe, made its way over the fence out the field. Less than 10 minutes remaining in our first half. It's been a great matchup. A lot of offensive zone and defensive zone time for each of the teams, both of them. A lot of great chances. It's been a great first half. Kicked out to center by Van Letten. Ball makes its way towards the net of Galea. She'll run out to kick it out to center. Battling for it, Fitzgerald for Morristown. At center, it makes its way to Shayla Osmansky. Now to Rachel Cunningham. Emily Ziegler. And that's picked off, but it does deflect towards the net of Galea as she'll hold on to it. Kicked up high by Galea. Makes its way to center, Ortega. It will deflect off of a body and remain at center. Riley Chomko. I believe that ball made its way out of bounds. Brought back into play by Morristown. It will make its way into Pequannock's zone and then out to center, but Morristown with it. Fitzgerald. Battling one-on-one with Ortega. As Fitzgerald falls down. Nope. Nothing will be called on Ortega. It was a clean play. Ortega didn't make contact, so it's good. Ball brought in. Emily Ziegler. As it went out of bounds. Brought back into play. Up high, and it will make its way towards the net with Galea inching her way to the the right side, left side for her perspective, to grab that ball and hold on as she'll kick it out. Addie Van Letten. And Samantha Cunha tried to get that, but it was taken. And Cunha is able to get that ball back. Now at center. Riley Chomko. Now, Shayla Osmansky. Ball made its way out of bounds. Brought back into play. And up high and out. Off the head. And ball at center. Riley DeCumber. Shayla Osmansky now with it. And it's kicked out to center. Addie Van Letten. Keeps it going. She'll get it again. Give it to Rachel Cunningham. At the side. Emily Ziegler, she could not connect on that pass, as the ball will go right past her and out of bounds. Ball kicked out at center. And it makes its way out again. Brought back into play and out again. Morristown brings it back in play. Up high by Blakely. Off the head of Alexander. And it goes out of bounds. Went off of Rachel Cunningham. Quickly back into play. Currently with it. Saporin. Made its way out again. And Katrina McMahon to bring it back into play. It will go off ahead and out again. Less than 5 minutes remaining in our first half. We're still at 0-0. Ortega brings it up high. Caitlin Ziegler gets hit by Fitzgerald. Brought over. At center. Rachel Cunningham battling with LaFerrari as she'll pass it to Larada. Ball makes its way towards the net, wide left side of Zoe Wisner. Brought back into play. Ortega brings that through center, and it'll make its way back into Morristown zone as Galea will have to go out of her net to kick it to center. That's what she intended to do, but it went out of bounds, so Katrina McMahon to bring it back in for the Panthers. She'll give it to Rachel Cunningham. Rachel Cunningham gets tripped by Larada, and that will be a whistle for the ref, and that will be a call for the Panthers to have the possession and get a kick from that. Van Letten taking the kick. Ball makes its way towards the net, and Galea is able to get that ball through the scrambled amount of players. Scramble in front of the net. Galea is able to get that ball from the kick. And we are now at less than 2 minutes remaining in our first half. Katrina McMahon brings it out, but it's brought back in. Currently with it, Saporn. Fisher. Van Letten is able to get it out a bit, and it's kept in by Larada. And ball kicked to center. It will make its way out of bounds, though. And now it's our last minute of our first half. Caitlin Ziegler with it. Brought up by Cunha off the head of Ortega as it goes toward Pequannock's direction. At center, Larada. Larada to LaFrere. At center, still battling for it. Ortega brings it towards Pequannock zone. Less than 10 seconds remain. And that will end our first half. Great first half from both teams. And after 40 minutes of playtime, the score is still 0-0. And we will be going into a 10-minute intermission. Do not leave the broadcast. We'll be back after this intermission. We thank you guys for watching the 2023 Morris County Tournament, Pequannock Panthers versus the Morristown Colonials on TJK Network. Tyler Kasperzak reporting. We'll see you momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, welcome back to TJK Network. We are back after our intermission, getting ready for our second half of the game. Game is still scores with a score of 0-0. In our first half, if you're joining right now, a lot of great offense and defense from both of the teams. It's been back and forth. So we got 40 minutes to the clock for our second half. And we will see how this goes. So again, if you guys are tuning in right now, thank you for joining and watching the Morris County tournament game for the Pequannock Panthers on TJK Network. Greatly appreciated. If anyone wants to help out TJK Network, here is our stream sponsor, TJK Wear. It is our clothing line. We designed it off of TJK Network's brand. So if you want to support us, well, go get yourself a hoodie, t-shirt, or some accessory. We will have that link in our description below if you want to support us and get yourself a piece of TJK Network designed clothing. And here we go, getting ready for our second half. And that ball goes right to Zoe Wisner. At center. Currently battling for it. Ortega, and now to Ziegler, who brought it up high. Will go off a couple heads, remain at center. Ortega with it. Brought in. And it will go out of bounds. Brought back into play. It will be kicked up high towards center. Emily Ziegler trying to reach for it. Coming with it. Saporn. Bringing it all the way into Panthers territory. Coming with it. Fisher now. From the side. And it will hit the side of the net. Addie Van Letten kicking for the Panthers to bring it to center. Van Letten brings it out to center. And it's brought back into the Panthers territory, but it will go out of bounds. Samantha Cunha, the one to bring it back in. Ball will be kicked out of bounds by Morristown. That being, I believe that was Murtha who did that. Back in play. Ball makes its way inside Morristown's zone as Galea to kick it. She had to rush out of her net to do that. Ball went out of bounds after that play, though. Brought in. And Morristown finds a way to bring it out, but Panthers try to regain the control here. And it goes out of bounds. Brought back in. And out again. Morristown with it. And here's the ball as it comes back into play. At the sideline. It'll be a big hit. I believe Van Letten was the one that took it. Accidental hit. I don't think they saw each other. And here's a kick from Morristown. Makes its way off of, I believe that was Van Letten's head. Ball kicked over and onto the field. Out the field to the senior parking lot. I believe it actually went off a person's car. Would not be good if their car got damaged from a soccer ball. Panthers to kick it away from their zone. Here's the kick. To center. And it makes its way out. Brought in. And it goes out again. Panthers bring it back in. Ball will bounce around a couple of people, and it will land in the hands of Larada. Ball's picked off by Osmanski. She will hold on with the possession. Battling for it. Larada. Ball brought in. Currently with it. Bedoya. And at center, they'll take it back, Morristown. And they'll take it back to Galea. Off the head of Van Letten. Osmanski rings it in, but it's immediately taken back out. Osmanski tries to bring it in again. It's blocked on that. Morristown will bring it in. And it'll make its way out of bounds. Kicked from Van Letten to center. Up high. Make its way across the field. And it'll be kicked in to Morristown zone. And the ball will make its way to Galea. She'll kick it. Not out entirely. And now it's out to center.
Offside.
And it's offside. Would have been a breakaway for Morristown. Great pressure from the Panthers offense. And great pressure from the defense also from Pequannock. Addie Van Letten gonna do the kick. It'll go off ahead. Center. Rushing to that. Katrina McMahon and Fisher. Fisher's the one to grab it. And Morristown brings it in. And they'll bring it towards the net, but it'll go behind the net from the left side. Addie Van Letten kicking it once again. Goes off the head of Larada. Ball still in Panthers zone as it goes out of bounds. And we'll go off of Riley Tromko as Van Letten tries to bring it back in. brought back into play. Emily Ziegler. And Zoe Wisner able to grab onto that and kick it out. Wisner kicks it out. Ball makes its way to Rachel Cunningham. Rachel Cunningham with the move. Gets it to Riley Chomko. Riley Chomko not able to get to it in time as Galea rushes out the net. Galea to kick it. At center. Inside the offensive zone. Ball brought up high. And we'll go to the left side of the net as Galea will rush to grab that. Galea kicks it. And it goes out of bounds. Cunha brings it back in. Shows Mansky. Currently with it. Caitlin Ziegler will topple down. Foul for it. Cunha makes its way to Osmanski. Caitlin Ziegler. Caitlin Ziegler brings it to Ortega. Ortega with it. Ortega with the move. It's picked off as it'll make its way to center. Clark to bring it back in. Up high. Brought back in. And Galea goes out of the net to pick it up, right side. Kick to center. Currently with it. McDonald. As it went out of bounds. Brought in by McDonald. And Schnipp was the one that tried to pass it up front. And that ball will make its way towards out of bounds. Ball brought back into play. Panthers try to battle for it. And that ball, I believe, just went wide. I'm not sure. My angle or my viewing angle is playing tricks. It looked like it was going to be going to the left side of the net, but it looked like it made itself past. Did not go in. Still 0-0. And Addie Van Letten to kick. Van Letten brings it to center. So go off ahead. Riley Chomko trying to battle for it. Unable to. McDonald to bring it in. Addie Van Letten kicks it back out. Currently with it. Entering Pequannock zone. Ball makes its way towards the net. Stopped. I don't know if Zoe Wisner got to that. On the rebound. Saved by Zoe Wisner. She got to that one. And this score is still 0-0. What a save. Zoe Wisner came in clutch on that rebounding. I believe that first shot was blocked and never made it to her. But that ball made its way back to Morristown, and they got the rebound opportunity. And this time, Zoe Wisner is able to get it, keeping this game 0-0, scoreless. Brought back into play. Brought across the field to Overling. She'll pass it to Fitzgerald. Murtha. Now to McDonald. She'll get knocked over by Samantha Cunha. Samantha Cunha having trouble, but she'll be able to get herself back up. LaFury, I think that's actually how you pronounce her name, so I apologize for earlier, with the kick, makes its way wide of Zoe Wisner on the left side of the net. Kick to center. It's brought back in. Osmanski able to bring it back out. And we'll have a Panther player down on the floor. I believe that was also Shayla Osmanski. But she's all right. Panthers getting another opportunity here with the kick. At center. Still at center with Murtha, who had it. And Pohan to bring it back to Galea. At center. Currently entering now. Fisher for Morristown. Brought towards the net. Stopped by Zoe Wisner, and she will hold on. Zoe Wisner performing very well for the Panthers. Keep in mind, 12-0-0 record for her, 10 shutouts, and she was not a goalkeeper last year. She played forward, number 14. A little bit of a battle there. Makes its way to center still. Currently with it. Schnipp. Brought in. Offense pushing now for Morristown. From the side. Never makes its way to the net. It will go out. And Morristown getting a corner kick opportunity. Here's the corner kick. And it will make its way over the net and out of bounds. Should say over in front of the net, out of bounds. Excuse me on that. Out of Van Letten. Bringing it out. Off of Victoria Locke. Makes its way towards Pequannock zone again. Katrina McMahon. Kicks it out of the field. Brought up high. And out of bounds. Brought in and out again. Ball's out again, so Panthers getting their turn now. Brought in. And we reached 20 minutes. We have reached halfway through our second half. On the other side, Alexander, who had it. And it makes its way out. Cunha brings it in. Up high. At front of the net, Ortega with the shot. Stopped by Galea on the rebound. Hits the side of the net. Galea may have got a piece of it. This game remains 0-0. Kicked up to center, off of Rachel Cunningham's head. Addie Van Letten brings it in, and it goes toward the net of Galea. She'll grab onto that. Kicked up high by Galea to bring it out. Rushing for it, Riley DeCumber to bring it up. We'll go off of, I believe, Shayla Osmansky and also one of the Morristown players' heads. Ball lands back at center to Rachel Cunningham. Ortega tried to get that, unable to. We'll go off in their head twice. Morristown now going to push offensively. Coming with it, Fisher. Fisher bringing it in. Shots. And Zoe Wisner will snatch that and hold on. So Wisner kicks it towards center and will make its way to center. Riley Chomko battling with McDonald one-on-one. She'll block that first try. At center, Rachel Cunningham with it. Ortega now with it. Ortega gives it to Addie Van Letten. Taken back to Samantha Cunha. Addie Van Letten now rushing. Riley Chomko. At center. And it will be brought left side wide of the net. Out of bounds. And that ball kicked. Makes its way to center. Brought back in. Up high. And over. And Emily Ziegler gets knocked down on that play. Hanswood with the possession. They'll take it out. Ball was chipped out the center, but it went out of bounds. Ball made its way out of bounds again while entering the zone for Morristown. Brought back into play. And Pequannock's able to keep it in. Riley Chomko with it. Riley Chomko with the shot. And stopped by Galea with the tip of her fingers as she'll take it over. Shayla Osmansky kicking off the corner. From the corner for the Panthers. Here's the corner kick from Osmansky. Ball up at front. And Chomko shoots it above the net. Galea at center. Riley Chomko to get it up high. Deflected back off the head of one of the Morristown players. Ball goes out of bounds. Brought back in. And it goes out of bounds again. This time it will be Morristown with the ball to bring it out. Kicked out to center. Out of Van Letten. Able to bring it toward the net. Not toward the net, into Morristown zone with Galea leaving her net to grab it as she will kick it out to center. Addie Van Letten brings it off the head while she does hit Fitzgerald, bringing her down. Accidental, of course. Ball brought back in at center from McDonald, I believe. It was one of them. Forgot. Out and now brought in by McDonald. LaFerry tries to pass it to Fitzgerald. Unable to connect on that pass. Panthers are able to pick it off to get it out a bit. On the sideline, now at center. Taken back. Couple steps. Ball make its way to McDonald. Samantha Cunha able to steal it. Shayla Osmansky. And now Ortega back to Osmansky. Taken again. And kicked back into the Panthers zone. So Wisner got a little bit out of her net, but she was able to get that loose ball. Up high. Riley Chomko, one-on-one. And Kaylin Ziegler taking it, but defense of Morristown keeps it 0-0. That ball was brought out of bounds. Brought back in. And Galea rushes for that ball to hold on to it. Galea kicks it out to center. Will bounce and will be kicked by Ziegler. Shayla Osmanski bringing it in. Kaylin Ziegler rushing for it. And it's taken by Galea as she'll pick it up. Galea brings it back to center. Samantha Cunha. Now Rachel Cunningham. Shayla Osmanski brings the ball up high as it will deflect off of Larada. And the ball makes its way out again. Samantha Cunha brings it back into play. And at center. Battle forward still. Fitzgerald with it. Now with it, Fisher. At center will be Lafreri. Lafreri. And we'll have a trip on that. Less than 10 minutes remaining in our second half. And here's the kick from Morristown. Makes its way wide of Wisner on the right side. We are still scoreless. And that ball trickles its way back to the Panthers zone. And Wisner picks that up. Kicked up. At center. And the ball will make its way towards the offensive direction for Morristown. Now our kick from Morristown, brought up high, and it will make its way behind the net. It's out of bounds, so we'll continue here. Addie Van Letten kicking for the Panthers again. There's the kick. Out. Nearly to center. Panthers will get out the center from Samantha Cunha. Ball is out of bounds again. Back into play. Morristown sets up. Ball will go off the head of Addie Van Letten. She kicks it up high and will make its way out of the field. It will actually hit the snack stand building for our football team. Back into play. Ball makes its way towards the net. Rushing for it, Zoe Wisner. She will stop it. Kicked out to center by Wisner. Ortega trying to get that ball. Ortega knocks over. I believe that was Angler. Samantha Cunha to bring it towards the net. And Galea grabs onto that. Kicked up high to center. Off of Rachel Cunningham. Ortega tries to get to it, but it's kicked more towards center. Still at center with it. Oberling. Now rushing for it. Lafriri. Entering the offensive zone. And it'll go out of bounds. And kicked towards center, or attempted to, and went back in, but Panthers were able to capitalize on bringing it to center. Less than 5 minutes remaining in our second half. It's been a great game offensively and defensively for both teams, as we are still scoreless. Up high. It'll go off ahead. Trina McMahon, I believe, was the one that brought that in, but it went out of bounds. At center. Went out of bounds. Up high. On the rush, Cecilia Colvin called up from JV to fill in for an injury. Not sure who is injured on the team, but some extra depth added to the girls' soccer team with this call up. Brought back into play. Ball makes its way towards the broadcasting booth. Saved by one of the parents in the stands. Brought back into play. It'll go off a couple heads. Shayla Osmansky, the wide kick to try to get it out. Up front, Panthers are able to get it out. Off of Ortega, she's onto it now. Ortega with it. Now Osmansky. Osmansky tripped on that play. And Osmansky's down. And the clock will stop at 2:25. But we're going to put on 2:20 because we need to get our time in sync. But the real time in the game is 2:25. That was a hard, tough hit. Jill Osmansky, after taking that brutal hit, is able to get back up, and she will continue to play. Out of Van Letten taking the kick. Here we go. Here's the kick. And it's grabbed by Galea. Galea kicks it out to center. A lot of the boys soccer team members and other students now filling up the student section. We are less than 2 minutes remaining in our second half. We are at, excuse me, less than 2 minutes. Brought in. And we'll go off. A couple players. Samantha Cunha bows for it. Ball goes out. Panthers with it now. Samantha Cunha rushes to bring it back in. Ball makes its way out again. And another kick opportunity for Morristown. Kicked from number 10, LaFury. Panthers are able to capitalize defensively to get it out to center. There is currently 35 seconds left. We're fixing our clock right now. We're at 30 seconds now left in our second half. And Zoe Wisner rushing to that. And she will hold on. 15 seconds remain. Less than 10 seconds now. Wisner kicks it out to center. And we have reached the end of our second half. And we will now be going into extra time. This game just got a lot crazier. And after 2 halves, we are still scoreless. 0-0. A lot of great offense and defense and goalkeeping from both teams. And that's why the score is 0-0. And now we will be going into sudden death, as now extra time will be added to this game. So please stay tuned in the broadcast. We are not going to go anywhere. My name is Tyler Katzek with the TJK Network, reporting this game. This game is about to get a lot crazier than we thought. We will have 5 minutes of intermission time, so stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TJK Network, and we are now reporting live, going into extra time, sudden death. Both of these teams have been extremely resilient this game. Back and forth, offensively and defensively, has been looking really great, as well as the goalkeeping. And we will now have 10 minutes added to the clock. This game just got a lot crazier than we thought. If anyone is joining just right now, we welcome you to the broadcast. Very, very good game. So we will have 10 minutes added to our clock. And here we go, getting ready for extra time. And here we go, folks. Battling for it was McMahon. Ball makes its way towards Zoe Wisner. And in. That ended a lot quicker than we thought. And the silence emerges. Take a look at that on that replay. So Wisner was not able to get to that in time. That was around I think that was around 22 seconds into extra time, where the Panthers could not get to that. Even I, as the broadcaster, is speechless. Let's do one more look on that instant replay. Ball was brought in from the corner. Zoe Wisner was not able to catch that ball. Makes its way into the net. Very unlucky for the Panthers. So Pequannock will unfortunately lose their undefeated status, which lasted a pretty long time. 12 games undefeated. And they will now record their first loss of the season this late. They'll go down from 12-0-0 to 12-1-0. Odds were stacked against Morristown. Good team, but Pequannock was just rolling. And around 20 seconds in extra time, a mistake, unfortunately, would get the win for Morristown. So Morristown will move on to the next round. and will improve to a 9-3-2 record. Panthers unfortunately knocked out of the first round of the Morris County tournament and will record their first loss, dropping down to 12-1-0. Season not over yet because this is just a county tournament. State playoffs is when the season will matter, or when the season will be on the line. But anyways, it was a great match. Two very good teams, very resilient. Had to be battled out in extra time. Fortunately, Pequannock, with a mistake, couldn't capitalize on saving that as a win in the net. But be sure to tune in to our other broadcast this week. We got a couple coming up. There won't be anything tomorrow, but on Friday we will have a triple header. It will be girls soccer regular season game, Sparta versus Pequannock, and we'll also be at the volleyball game, Dig Pink game, Cancer Awareness Night, or 5 p.m. Cancer Awareness Day. We'll be at that game, JV at 4, varsity at 5, and then 7 p.m. we'll be covering the football game. So be sure to tune in on those. And that will conclude today's broadcast. So, my name is Todd Kasperzak. We hope you enjoyed this game. Final score, 1-0. Morristown, after extra time. Have a great rest of your day and evening or night. Or I'll just say have a great rest of your day, just to keep it simple. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.